Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 6 of my review of Warren Hill's Cancun Jazz Festival. My name is Fitz, your personal tour guide to the Cancun Jazz Festival. In this video, we are going to take a look at the restaurants and what that experience was like. You don't want to miss this. Before we jump into the latest review, I want to address a question that came in from Shanika. Shanika, I appreciate your question and your comment. Thank you so much. She asked about what the weather was like and whether it was really humid. Now, if you spend any time in a Gulf Coast city, you know it's humid. I do. I live in Florida. It gets humid. But during the fall and the spring, the humidity is not bad. There's always a little bit of humidity, but it was totally bearable. So it wasn't like you couldn't go outside and hang out and you're just drenched in, sweat. It was actually pretty cool. Weather was pretty good. We did get a few showers. Also, we had one show rained out because Brian Culberson's show was at the Woodstock stage, which is outdoors. And sure enough, we had a breeze coming in from the east and brought some rain clouds in, and man, it just unloaded. And unfortunately, we only got to see about 20 minutes of Brian Culberson's set before it rained. And I was wondering whether they're going to reschedule him or move him indoors, but we found out later that his equipment got wet, so we could not see the rest of his show, unfortunately. So it was good too. I really enjoyed Brian Culberson, but that was the worst. Everything else was just light rains, a little drizzle here or there. So just make sure you have a travel umbrella with you. I highly recommend just having one of those on you just in case it does rain. All right, the restaurants at the Hard Rock Riviera Maya. Now, I want to start by saying that I made a comment that this was the part of the experience or the part of the trip that we enjoyed the least. I want to put that in context, right? So that is in comparison to everything else at the Cancun Jazz Festival. So you look at the check-in process. When I looked at all of the music venues and all of the house band and the pools and the beach, right? And just chilling, just hanging out. When I rank all of those and put each one in their own separate compartment, that experience ranked kind of low on our list. Now, someone else may feel differently, and someone comes across this video, let me know what your experience was like. How was your experience like, eating at the restaurants at the Hard Rock Riviera Maya? So this isn't so much a review really against the jazz festival. This is just about the hotel restaurants, right? So it doesn't matter what's going on. You can fly there yourself and stay there for a weekend. And so it had nothing to do with Warren Hill's jazz show, but this is just really about the restaurants at the Hard Rock. And this is just our experience and what that was like. But I think there are going to be some tips in here that'll really help you when it comes to dealing with the restaurant. So I want to start kind of methodically, kind of a day by day, a point by point. Also, I want to take my time, and I don't want these videos to be like 20 minutes, so I'm going to break these up. And so day one, when we arrived, after checking all that, we're walking around, and then my wife was asking about, where we're going to go eat, where the restaurants are, do you have to make reservations? Can you just show up? We came across a restaurant called Toro. Now, at the resort, there are 2 restaurants that are in separate buildings apart from the Heaven or the Hacienda lobby. One of them is Toro. So here's a map. So I just want to so you know exactly where this is located. So this is near the Heaven side. This is the Toro restaurant. The other restaurant over on the Hacienda side is called Ipanema, I believe is how it's pronounced. All the other restaurants are in either the Heaven lobby or the Hacienda lobby. But so we decided we want to go there. Also, each of the main restaurants have a particular cuisine that they serve. Steakhouse, Italian, Asian. I think it's a Brazilian steakhouse. So Toro cuisine for dinner is a steakhouse. So we like going to steakhouses. So we say, hey, let's go here. So we show up And we just walk into the restaurant. We didn't reserve anything. We didn't call and ask. We just walked in, and they said that it is by reservations only, and they had no availability. So point number one, all of the restaurants for dinner require a reservation. So the next question was, well, how do we go about doing that? Because we weren't sure, how to reserve. Do you go to the concierge desk, or how do you make the reservation? So what we did that night is that we found out that there is a restaurant called the Market Buffet. The Market Buffet is over in the Hacienda lobby. So, because we were kind of frantic, like, okay, well, where do we go eat? Is it like a pizza joint open or something, or a burger or a hot dog? We're getting hungry. So there is a restaurant called the Market Buffet. It's over on the Hacienda side. So we went and got on a golf cart over in the Heaven lobby, took it over to the Hacienda side. And so that's where we went and had dinner that first night that we arrived. And it is international cuisine, all buffet style. And it was pretty busy, but food to me was okay. I didn't have a problem with it. Now, my wife, on the other hand, she didn't like it. Now, I really liked their desserts. They had a really nice dessert area that was circular, and so you can go around it and get, cake, pie, cookies, ice cream, whatever. I just like sweets anyway, so maybe it's just my sweet tooth, but I like the desserts over there. As a couple, we never did go back to the Market Buffet. I think I went once by myself. I think my wife was at a spa or something like that. And so I went over there, I think, for lunch or something to eat. So then, and we had one show that night. So after we ate, we went over to, I think it was the Spire Gyre was performing over at the Deca stage. So we wanted to go see that show. So that's how the first day went. The next day, my wife found out, she called around and found out you had to make a reservation in the lobby, either on the Heaven side or over on the Hacienda side. Now, I had noticed the first day that people were standing in lines at these desks in the lobby areas, and I was wondering what they were doing. I thought they were maybe signing up for an excursion. Come to find out, that's where you make your restaurant reservations. And you can make them up to 2 days in advance. And we didn't know that. So that's why the restaurant reservations were already filling up, because people who were used to this trip probably had came back. These are returnees. They went and started making their reservations as soon as they got there. If eating at one of the restaurants is important to you for this trip, I would make that one of the first things you did once you kind of got checked in. I would head straight to the Heaven lobby if you're on that side, or in the Hacienda lobby, and they're not at the concierge desk. There's like a little desk set up, and they have like a little laptop, and they have menus, and they have a list of all the restaurants, so you can take a look at and see what kind of food they serve. You can kind of pick and choose. But then at these desks, that's where you make your restaurant reservation, and you can do them as much as 2 days in advance. So make sure you do. If you don't receive anything else from this particular video, remember, restaurants by reservation only, and I would make sure that'd be the first things that I did, because you don't want to miss the shows. Because to me, music was important. I put the music above the food, so I could have ate at that buffet, that Market Buffet, the whole time, wouldn't bother me. But my wife wanted to try the restaurants and do all this kind of stuff, so to kind of compromise, I said, okay, I don't want to hog the whole experience. This all be about me. I was trying to make sure we both had a good time. So the restaurant part was important to her. So we go, we find out, we sign up to make a reservation for the Toro restaurant. So we make a reservation for 7:30. Now, we have a little bit of a conflict here, because that's what time Brian Culberson's show started at 7:30. And I'm like, because I really didn't want to miss any of the shows, because the music to me was very, very important. I didn't want to miss anything. But I said, all right, go ahead, let's do it. So we'll just eat fast and get there whenever the show's, and catch the show whenever we catch it. But so we made the 7:30 reservation. So my wife said, well, you know what? Let's show up early. And let's just see if we can get seated, before our actual reservations. So we left our room about 6:15-ish. And we got to the Toro Steakhouse at about 6:30 to see if we can get seated early. And I will tell you what happened with that in the next video. Well, this is Fitz. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. I love all the comments and the questions. Keep them coming. If you have any more questions about anything that relates to the trip, I'll be more than happy to try to answer it. Just drop me a line down there in the comments. Also, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I really appreciate you hit that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified the next time a new video is uploaded, then go ahead and hit the notifications bell while you are at it. Well, this is the end of this episode. In the next video, I will tell you what happened when we showed up at the Toro Steakhouse an hour early.